And when everything started unfolding in like episode 4 and 5, nuts.
Allergy! 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 Oh my god! Asabi!
Hey, hi, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always coming back to check out my videos. If you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer that is here to subscribe, and just in case you're just seeing my face, name, channel for the very first time, hi, welcome on this space. I'm Ronke Suyi. On this channel I review movies, talk about web series, TV shows. I do vlog sometimes, so please feel free to stick around me on this channel by subscribing. If you find something on here that would interest you, like the video. If you eventually enjoy watching it helps YouTube to know that I enjoy this video. I want you to suggest it to somebody else. Thank you so much. In today's video, I don't know, this thing is just doing one kind. In today's video, we are going to be talking about The Plan. It's a new Netflix limited series, I want to believe, that is currently streaming on Netflix, and it's kind of different. So, you know, this Netflix series follows the life of a young woman who had to trust her friends with a box filled of gold after the demise of her husband.
Definitely, we must have these discussions.
I can't tell any family member. It's too dangerous. I have decided to tell Miro and Attica. Can you trust them?
We had these three friends. I mean, I feel like I've like three musketeers, the trio, friends, and it's a common storyline for most movies to follow. We had these three friends, Attica, Miro, and Rahama. So Rahama happened to be the woman whose husband died. Her husband happened to be a politician and a largy, and you know, one thing led to another. It happened that he was involved in some fraudulent activities. His properties were getting seized. His properties were getting questioned, you know, and all that stuff. And
what is happening? What is this? Is this true? Take it easy.
You know, that led to him having an heart attack and dying. I mean, I said this because it's already in the synopsis on Netflix, so yeah, that's not a spoiler.
Allergy! 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 Oh my god! Asabi! Asabi!
So he dies, and before dying, he informed his wife that he has a box of gold that's been hidden for 10 years. I mean, he was trying to make sure that he doesn't take his own wealth, which he had gained, into politics. So he kind of separated his wealth from whatever wealth was going to be getting out of doing politics and all that. So he informed his wife that he has this gold and he wants her to, you know, keep it in care of somebody, just do something with it. And she mentioned that she trusts her best friend, who are Attica and Miro, and you know, she decided to split the box of gold between her friends because I mean, their properties were getting looked into, Elijah's properties were getting seized, questions here and there, and this was his supposed wealth that he acquired before politics. So he wanted to separate it from all that mess and all the drama. And the friend believed or thought of it that, okay, my best friends are actually the ones I trust enough to keep it in their safe until I'm ready to do something with the gold. The husband dies, and then she splits the gold between her friends, and after some months later on, she came asking for her gold, and then all hell broke loose as these friends, you know, turned their backs, literally turned against each other because of greed, because of betrayal, because of distrust amongst them. Karama's character seemed like this strong-headed person, this very straightforward person. She doesn't mince her word. Whatever she feels, she lets you know. We had Miro as well. She has this very timid personality. She's very easy to be intimidated. She's like the shy cat amongst the trio, and she looks like she gets pushed around so much. She's married, trying to like get a child, get pregnant. They've done IVFs and all that, and she's married to this person called Tanko, who is trying to run a business alongside Nelson, who is sleeping or who is having this thing with Attica, who happens to be Miro's friend. I mean, one thing that busts my brain in this series is how, or will I say bust my brain, or I'm just like, okay, it's how they are all just connected and the dots keep coming up and the dots keep connecting. She has been trying to have a child. She's had various failed IVFs, and after the last one, her husband told her to stop trying, and she decided to take a pregnancy and then buy a child, which Karama, like I already told you, wasn't in support of, because she's such a straightforward person. But Attica kept pushing her that, I mean, this is what you want. so many women have to go through different means to experience motherhood and all that. And yeah, that's aside. So talking about Attica seems to be the ippy one, the soft life. She doesn't look like the conventional Hausa babe. She's very, I mean, we saw her character to be a very greedy one, to be very gullible, to be very dubious and manipulative. So yeah, and she's not married unlike her other friend, but she has this thing going on with Mofe Duncan's character. That's Nelson, who we later found out like they even know each other. That's the thing. Haji, Karama, Mayo, Attica, Nelson, Tanko, all these people, they know each other. Maybe more like, I mean, they've known these three friends, they've known each other for 20 years. So, I mean, I think that explains why they kind of know everybody in their circle, and their circle is kind of circled. And so in another side of this series, we had Baba who helped Alhaji safeguard his gold for 10 years. And we had his son, or one of his relatives shared that is called AK, a very unserious 30-year-old who doesn't want to be useful for himself and just wants to get gold by all means. Come to think of it, they didn't get to show us what happened with his character at the end of this series, because with the way the series ended, if you're seeing it, do you think there's going to be a season 2? Do you think there's any need for a season 2? In my own opinion, I feel like AK is the only unanswered question right now, aside from some little unanswered questions. I don't really see a need for a season 2. But yeah, on to the things I liked about this series. I liked the fact that for the first time, it felt like we were getting an Hausa series on such a big platform. I mean, we see a lot of series, they just have this Hausa infusion. Like, we see series like, okay, like for Shantytown now, Yoruba seems to be like a major, like the most spoken language, and then followed by Igbo. And Hausa is always like a very tiny fraction of languages being spoken in Nigerian series and all that. I mean, they try their best to push Hausa language to the public, let people know about language. But I liked the fact that we got a series that was like, there was no other language. It was either Hausa or English. And we got to see, see Hausa babes, see what their life sort of look like, the beach, Arewa, how the married ones, the single ones, what their life sort of look like. I wish we had gotten more insight into what their culture looks like more. I mean, we saw that when Karama's husband died, we saw them coming to ask for his property, which is similar to what is being done in other cultures. So I would have loved to see more of their culture. I don't know, maybe that would have disrupted the story in a way, but I don't know. I would have just loved to see that. But I just liked that we had an Hausa series. Wardrobe, you guys, the wardrobe in this series was giving. The women were giving. Attica was on point in this series. I mean, she was the unconventional Hausa babe. So, I mean, our character had to speak class, fashion. I mean, I feel like they did great when it comes to fashion. They still try to stick to the way Arewa women will look like, and at the same time, their fashion was giving. Also, the story was good. It's actually a good story with a very good potential. I liked that it was different. Yeah, I liked the story, and I liked the development of the story and how it was built upon. That the story was very direct as what it was trying to address. For the most of this film or this series, we saw them address greed, distrust, revenge. I mean, these people basically paid them. They played themselves, basically. They played themselves. Everyone was like a pawn in each other's game plan. It was crazy. I mean, when everything started unfolding in like episode 4 and 5, nuts. So on to the things I didn't like about this film. I didn't like just a few things. For the first one, there was an episode in episode 1 where Baba was talking to AK, and it was kind of like advising, more like giving him proverbs here and there. And there was this very funny, annoying background sound effects that we're doing in the background. It was not needed. Music score was good, it was okay, but that special effects was not affecting at all. It was not special. It wasn't needed. And I'm glad they didn't do that later on in the film. They just kept it at that, and I liked that it was just that. But it would have been good to not even have experienced it at all. But yeah, yeah. Talking about unanswered questions, there was a scene. Spoiler alert! I'm sorry. There was a scene where Attica was attacking Miro, and her husband walked in. Miro's husband walked in and attacked Attica, and Miro was able to save herself from the situation, or was able to get saved. by her husband. And it got me thinking, how did the husband find his way to Atika's house? It would have been a different story if this happened at Miro's home. I mean, he explains that this is their home. I mean, they were fighting. So there was that maybe he probably came back home to make amends and talk about everything that was going on. But why did he show up at Atika's house? Was he following her? They didn't show us. I don't know. I was just like, that was so convenient. How was he there at the right time? Yeah, I mean, there was a part of this series where I mentioned that Mary was lying about her pregnancy and all that. I was just like, how are you trying to make us believe that this woman lied to her husband for 9 months that she was pregnant and had no physical contact whatsoever? I mean, it's a different thing if he had traveled, if he was on a trip for the whole period of her pregnancy, but he was around. And this is you people's first pregnancy after trying multiple times. I mean, it's going to be all over the belly. He wants to feel the baby kicking. He wants to hear the baby kicking, like all those precious moments. So how was she able to totally fool him for 9 months, or let's say 8 months, because she kind of went into labor when it wasn't the due date? So I was just like, you guys, I mean, this is their first pregnancy. Obviously, it's going to be all over her. So how was she able to get away with it? So that means if the truth didn't get out the way it got out, he would have bought it totally. Guy, I beg, right? Really? Nah, I wasn't buying it. So yeah, that's my take on the plan. I think I'm going to rate this series a 7/10 because, I mean, the story set out to do something different and it was very, very true to its theme. It was talking about trust, greed, and all that stuff, revenge. It was very true to its theme. I liked the wardrobe. The soundtrack was okay, aside the one I complained about. The acting was believable. I liked the dialogue. I loved that it was Hausa. So I'm going to give it a 7/10. Yeah. I thought, if you've seen the plan, let me know in the comment section. If you're going to be seeing it right after this review, let me know as well. I always look forward to all your comments in the comment section. Please like the video if you enjoyed watching. If you didn't, please like it still. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to subscribe. And I'll see you in my next one. But until then, make sure to remain happy because you owe it to yourself. Bye, guys.